In this video, I debunk introversy and extroversy, proving blue pill obfuscation is flawed and the reality is darker than we want it to be. On the screen, you have the traditional classification that you might find in the blue pilled world. Extroverts are basically people who feel energized by the external world and social interactions, while introverts feel more comfortable focusing their inner thoughts and ideas rather than what is happening externally. They tend to feel drained by external interactions. Well, I want to showcase something very interesting. Let's pick a Chad, for example, and a low tier normie, and do a small comparison. The Chad has friends. His friends like him, compliment him occasionally, and genuinely enjoy his company. So it reinforces the happiness loop he feels when he hangs out with them. The happier he is, the more he is willing to get out, meet new people, the happier he's gonna be, and the loops keeps looping. While a low tier normie tries to hang out with people, it doesn't usually end with positive emotions. The regular guy is more often than not left with a bitter feeling, a pseudo rejection of some sort. Despite hanging out with people, he felt that he didn't connect with any of them. The idea that if he wasn't there, it wouldn't have changed much. His absence would have gone unnoticed, everyone would have done the same thing, and it wouldn't have mattered if he was there or not. And in this scenario, our average boy would actually get more inclined or tempted to stay home, connect online, play World of Warcraft, and talk to people on Discord. People who don't see his face, I might value something else in him like his gaming skills. Therefore, he ends up attributing himself some introvert label, because yes, it is a label. Let me showcase it. Our Chad in this scenario looks at a meme about extroverts, and he reads the defining characteristics and concludes that I must be an extrovert. I relate to this. While a low value man would read about introversy, like people suck, and he will conclude, yes, I too would rather be with a dog, and I totally relate to this introvert shit. If you just replaced extroverts and introverts with high value and low value men, a lot of the defining factors would be the same. I honestly do not believe these two categories exist. I believe in the following. There are functional, healthy people and troubled people. The normal person intuitively yearns to connect with other humans, seeks approval of oneself. Some people more than others, of course. But I think that the majority of people are like this. It goes back to our biological survival instincts. If people don't value you when the times are safe, you instinctively know that you will be first to be thrown under the bus when shit turns bad. You won't be rescued, you were left behind, you will not be avenged nor remembered. On the other hand, there aren't many biological advantages of being a loner. My point is, there aren't loners and socials. There are people welcomed and rejectees. You don't choose to be a loner. You are made to be a loner. Chronicle loners require pills to remain sane. This isn't a discovery. Go read that book of that man who was stuck on an island and had a need to imagine people to survive his loneliness. It seems more sensical than to be actually totally alone. Now, to be fair, we can see that in the definition, an introvert doesn't necessarily want to be totally alone, but one or two friends is enough. But the same argument here persists. Were you invited to the best parties in your town with the best girls and the best events, etc., but you chose to be with one or two friends? No, you are the loser that no one invites anywhere, and you got stuck with a couple of other losers that couldn't get anywhere, and you all have to sit and convince yourself that you're all better that way. It is a cope. Here is a story to make this more understandable. I wasn't socially adept in high school. I'd cry after school because I didn't fit in. Once a guy, as a joke, flat told me to my face that I'm hanging out with them without bringing any value, that I'm not funny, nor talented, nor interesting, and I must start paying them money to hang out with them as compensation. It would hurt my existence to such high levels, but I was a kid then. Later in college, I started to feel the bullying and the rejection more intensely. The overall feeling of inferiority, that inability to blend in with normies, and disconnect my brain just to feel stuff, not think. And the reason is because All the feelings available to me were negative. If I allowed myself to feel anything, I would be hurt. So I got gradually secluded. Despite having some girlfriends here and there and some close friends, I decided that I hated parties and gatherings. I hated loud music, busy places, sticky floors, concerts. Basically anything that would involve more than 3 people was a drag to me. So I started to relate to memes of introverts on the internet. Dogs are so much better than people. Bro, listen. If you are that guy, people will treat you the same way you treat your dog. So it is you problem. I didn't know that. I thought I was being surrounded by bad people. I just had to find the right people. Anyway, now to the last phase. I learned about looks maxing. I lost fat, I gained muscle, I fixed my hair, etc., etc. And I'm still the same person inside. I have the same personality, the same psychological composition, yet I suddenly have retrieved my extroverted self. It was never actually gone. It was just sitting there unfulfilled. We all want to socialize. Again, some more than others, but only 20% of men are getting their needs met in these regards. Look back at my story. It was my SMV that dictated my introversy level. The lower it was, the worse I was treated by people, the more negative interaction I feel, the more I avoid them, which leads to me thinking that I am better alone, coping in loneliness. Like believing that it is by choice. Bro, let's not lie to ourselves. You do not have a dozen of invitations hanging in your DMs. You are not being tagged to parties. You are not being complimented left and right. Isn't it convenient to describe seclusion as something peaceful and positive? Einstein, the most famous introvert, described that seclusion promotes creativity. Well, if creativity is simulated, it is because it forms a defense mechanism that it is there to counter the lack of intimacy. Now your body is trying to occupy you or even trying to make you interesting so you can dive back and try again. If loneliness was the goal of your biological reflexes, you would feel in peace, happy and relaxed. You know, the same way extroverts and shadlights feel when they watch a movie with 7 friends. Their bodies are not getting creative out of the sudden. They are relaxed, they are exactly where they want to be, they have exactly what they want. They are not sitting there imagining something better than what they actually have. Later, in their alone time, they do chores, hygiene, work, just sleep and relax maybe, so they can later meet again and recharge from the energy of other people, like the description of extroverts by Jung. But for a low value man, the alone time is there to cope, and then, in his introspection, finds the will to live again, practice a hell lot of stoicism so he can face the harsh world again the next time he has to go out and interact with humans. To conclude, calling yourself an introvert is a cope. The only way I could believe that if that you are actually an introvert is if your phone right now is blowing up with invitations from interesting men, genuinely great fun men, and beautiful feminine girls, and you voluntarily and knowingly decide to stay home because going out is such a drag. Congratulations, you've proven me wrong. But if the best you have is eating donuts with your fat friend, sitting in a corner, doom scrolling, and occasionally showing each other memes, then you are not introverted. You are just rejected. This video is finished. Please share your opinion with me in the comments. I read and answer all the comments. Please subscribe to the channel. I plan to drop videos weekly. Enjoy your time.